Hello, this is Richard Gillespie. Welcome to Perspectives. This is a series of short videos that I've put together to discuss various topics that are relevant in today's world and try to put the facts into perspective. Today, we want to talk about instincts. The instincts that we have to survive that got us through periods of time in our history where we almost became extinct. We can attribute our success to those instincts that we evolved at that time. However, we're now at the situation where we have so much power and so much ability to destroy the planet that the same instincts that cause their survival are now at risk of causing our extinction. So the question is, what are these instincts? How do we overcome our own instincts, which are genetically built into us? Are we going to be able to overcome ourselves? And the answer to that is maybe not. But I have faith, but I think we're going to go through some tough times. So first of all, let's talk about what those instincts are. We have basic instincts for survival, such as being the dominant person, having aggression, attacking our enemies, attack first and ask questions later. The instinct for accumulating resources at the expense of others to see us through times of difficulty, stealing and wars, aggression towards others, and the mating rights of individuals within the population. So let's talk about the first and maybe the worst of our instincts. That was aggression. In times gone by, when we lived in southern Africa, we had to be extremely aggressive. We were living in a time when there were very few resources around. People were dying of starvation. There were large animals that were predating on us, and population was diminishing severely, down to as many as, or as few as 600 individuals, 600 couples, 1,200 individuals. And so we had to be extremely aggressive to survive through that. And this is where our instinct to shoot first and ask questions later came from. We couldn't afford to ask questions because if you got the wrong answer, you were dead. So we learned to be extremely aggressive towards others. And so now we have that instinct within us, and it doesn't really suit us. We don't have the situation where we all have a very easy life. We're not at much risk. And if we lost our aggressive behavior, then we would be at less risk than more risk. So the aggressive behavior that we learned, or that was ingrained in us in our deep past, is hurting us now. In fact, it's hurting us so badly that we have to say that we are now at the point where we have so much knowledge and so much power that our aggressiveness is probably going to lead to our destruction if we can't get it under control. And this is something that we really have to get under control. The next instinct is selfishness. The need to put ourselves first at the expense of others. And this is the same situation where it was survival of the fittest. It was whoever had the resources was the one that lived. And it came to a live or die situation. So we tend to be generous with our resources within certain groups, and really only at certain times, and that's when when there are times of plenty, people tend to be more generous. But people in general are selfish in terms of I come first, and if there's anything left over, then maybe there can be some for you, but there's never going to be enough for me, so I'm going to take everything. And wherever I go, I'm going to take all of the resources that are there, and I'm going to use them. And I'll use it to the destruction of the environment. And then once we destroy our environment, we move on to a new location. But it all comes down to this notion that there's never enough for me, and we need to control everything within our sphere of influence and exploit it to the maximum degree. We still do that today. We don't need to do it, but we do it because it's been ingrained in us from long ago. So we need to be able to overcome that. Fear. Fear is a big one. Fear was something that we evolved to keep us from being eaten by other animals. And we have certain fears today, but we don't have fear to the same extent that we had it in the past. So we don't need to have the same fight and flight response that we had when we were living on the savannah in Africa. We're in a much more secure environment, and the result of that instinct is that we have killed everything on the planet that can kill us. So, generally speaking, if we see a snake, we kill it. We don't ask questions. If we see, we just kill everything we come across. And that comes back to, our early days where a lot of things were poisonous or were going to kill you if you didn't kill them. And we're paying a huge price for that now. We kill everything we come across. We don't even think twice about it. So I'm going to call that fear. The next instinct that we need to talk about is the instinct for reproduction. And that's one of our strongest, if not the strongest, motivational force that we have in us. We all originated from a very small population not that long ago, and we had to, the individuals that survived were the ones that had the strongest propensity or tendency to reproduce, and that gave rise to an entire population of individuals that have a high motivation for reproduction. That leads to all kinds of problems today because we don't have any population problem. We have an overpopulation problem. We don't have any worry that we're going to go extinct because we don't have enough people. So how do we overcome that that problem or that instinct? I don't know that we can overcome it. But it creates all kinds of problems within society. It creates a lot of aggression. It creates a lot of fighting between individuals within groups, and it's generally a very destructive situation that occurs. So those are the main instincts. There are lots of others, of course, and hunger, food. There are all kinds of instincts that we have, but the ones that we have to overcome are the ones that are going to destroy us because of our aggression and our propensity to kill each other at a moment's notice and to kill everything that we come across. This is instinctively built into us. And we have weapons that are powerful enough now that we can very easily destroy everything around us, including ourselves. And our um, our instinct for destroying our environment or using all of the resources within our environment until they're gone, we still do that today, and we don't need to do that. But it's built into us to do it. We're going to destroy our environment, use every last resource there is, and run everything right into the ground. And we need to overcome that. We don't need to do that. We needed to do it in the past, but we don't need to do it now. But we still keep doing it. So we have to overcome this. If we're going to join the galactic world, if there are other civilizations out there, we can't join that group the way we are now. We have a long way to evolve. We have to become selfless. We have to lose our aggression. We have to become far more empathetic than we are. We have empathy, but it seems to be only when it suits us. Pardon me. So that's basically, I want everybody to start thinking about how do we get past ourselves? How do we overcome our nature? It's something that we're going to have to do, and the sooner we do it, the better. So this is something I think everybody needs to work on. Thank you.